Welcome to my kitchen once again. Today is rainy day. It's a good day to stay inside, and when it's rainy I love to bake. So I got up this morning and I decided to bake something I've never done. I was looking through the cookbooks. My mother-in-law has a recipe, and I found a different recipe that I came across when I was Googling, and I like that recipe, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do Rosquilhas de Aguardente. Never made them. They're popular rosquilha from St. George, not from San Miguel. They're traditional from there, so I will try to make justice. So I came across this recipe, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm only gonna do half of the recipe because it was a large amount and I don't want to do it. I'm making because I want to try it, how to make it, and my in-laws, they've been asking for it, and there's no way around here that we used to be able to buy them in the grocery stores, but not anymore. But anyway, so I told them I would make some and then I would share with them. So let me show you what I have here. I'm only doing half of the recipe, so this is only half. I have 6 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup the aguardente. I had only 3/4 of a cup of the white aguardente. I fill up to 1 cup with whiskey. If you don't have aguardente, you can do this with whiskey as well. I have half a cup of butter and then 2 tablespoons of Crisco. I have half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking soda and 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. And in my mixer, I have 24 eggs, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna beat the eggs with the zest and then the sugar. And we're gonna beat this until they become like a pale yellow. So I'm gonna beat about 5 minutes. So that's what I'll do. And I'm gonna continue mixing, and I'm gonna pour the aguardente a little bit at a time. So just pour slowly the aguardente to the eggs and the sugar. I'm also going to add the butter and okay, now I'm going to add my flour, and I'm going to change from the whisk to my hook. I made a mistake. I should have added the butter with when I add the sugar, but that's okay. So next time I'll mix the butter, sugar, and the zest. So now I'm gonna mix it slow, and I change to my hook, and I already put my salt and my baking soda in my flour, and we're gonna add this slowly into this egg mixture. These are beautiful, and like I said, we used to be able to buy these in the store, but we haven't seen them. I don't see them like we used to see them before. So I haven't had some in a long time. I like to have them just with a cup of coffee and some cheese. Sometimes instead of using bread, I would have some of those. Okay, I'm gonna mix this a little faster. I'm gonna add the rest of the flour, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, friend, I transfer my mixture to a bowl because I did a mistake. That's what happens when you do a new recipe. Sometimes you must calculate. The recipe I had, it was all in liters and grams. So I had 6 cups of flour, and it was supposed to have been 12 cups of flour. So anyway, at the end of the video, the recipe will have the right amount of the ingredients. So, but I had to transfer it to a bowl because it was too much for my mixer. So I had 6 cups more of flour, and then I add another half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. So, and this is what you want. And in this bowl, I spray with some oil so it wouldn't stick. And that's what you want. You want a mixture that it's still a little sticky, but not too sticky where you can't roll it. So, and that's how it is. See? I'm gonna let this sit here for about 15 minutes so those flavors can start blending. And the other thing is the dough, the gluten start kind of relaxing, so it will make it easy to roll. Okay friends, my dough is rested, and now what we need to do is we need to stretch this dough. And it's still sticky, but you need to stretch it until it doesn't stick no more. So I keep putting a little bit of flour at a time so it won't stick, and then we can start rolling. But you need to stretch it so it stays a smooth dough. So I'm going to keep stretching. I mean, I don't know if you're supposed to put flour, but I've been putting a little bit so it won't stick to my hands too much. And then once it doesn't stick, then we can start rolling. So I'm gonna start cutting into little pieces, and then I'm gonna start rolling my rosquilhas. I have my water boiling, ready for them. So, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I think they're about maybe 4 to 5 inches long. And that's what, and then they put it in their hand and they do this so they don't come apart. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is roll my rosquilhas. And if you see it's too long, you cut it and bring it together, put it between your hands and roll it. Almost like we would do for the, I think it's still a little too sticky. I think it needs to be not so sticky, because it can't be sticking. Because of what I've seen, it doesn't stick. Okay, roll it between your hands, and that way you don't see that. This one needs to go back. This is all after practice. It's all practice. You know, so people don't feel intimidated just because it's something. And for those people that are watching and they know how to do it, please be kind. You know, we all are just learning. Nobody was brought into this world knowing what to do, and some people like to learn, like myself. But there's people who are really mean out there and criticize when somebody does something that they know how to do it. I'm always to learn, but I don't like when people criticize somebody because they're doing something that they don't know how to do it. So just be a little kind. I should work more this dough. Here we go. You gotta stretch this dough until it doesn't stick. Once in a while I'll put some flour to kind of help me, but you have to stretch the dough and until you feel like it's not sticking to your hands anymore. And what you do, you put flour in your hands, and this is part of it. You want to make that smooth dough. And this is a very light, very flaky so like I said, all those eggs, and it puffs up. If I do it right, it's supposed to puff up, and then with those cuts, it's supposed to puff up more. Because I'll show you when I boil it, what we do. So you're gonna work out on this. Keep putting flour in your hands and keep working that dough. Now I know why we don't see these very often. That's a lot of work. But everything has a lot of work. Boil them, they come to the surface, and once they boil, you take them out, and then we do a cut on the sides. Could be with a knife or with a razor. And those cuts, when it goes to the oven, they'll puff up. I mean, the video I see, those ladies are working that dough. They're working that dough hard for a long time, just kneading that dough. And the dough comes out smooth. Mine are not there yet, so be patient. So, I'm getting there. Everything with practice. Put it together, put it on your hands. Roll it. And this is something that can last in a container for a while, because if you have a tight container, this can last. Stretch this again. When I came from Azores, I didn't like these in the beginning. I mean, they didn't have very much flavor. But then, as you start eating, once in a while, you just need that something not too sweet, but you wanted something. So I kind of missed it after a while. And then another day, my mother-in-law, she was talking about it. She used to make it, and she hasn't seen it in the stores. And that's what made me idea. I thought, okay, let me try it. I've never made it, and I want to try it. Put more, kind of just at least maybe 3 cuts per. No, when I saw the video of those ladies making, they look so perfect. They've done them for so many years. I'll get there. So, and this one came to the surface. Get it out. Put it on the. Okay, friends, I finished my Rosquilhas de Aguardente. I know they don't look like the ones that they're supposed to, but it's my first ones. I think I needed to cut them more on the sides and work the dough more. But here's an idea of something that I've never made. I had no idea what it's supposed to look like and how it's supposed to be made, but I tried, and that's all you can do is try. And I would like to address those people from St. George. Be kind. Don't judge somebody because it doesn't look perfect. People try, and that's all that matters. If you have any comments, any inputs that you can give me to help me to do better, I would appreciate that. I have no problem with the comments, but you know, sometimes people are so quick to judge, and am I scared somebody else that is willing to learn, but because the judgment, they don't do it. So, and here it is. They don't look perfect. I tell you one thing, they taste exactly like the way they're supposed to. I have one more pan in the oven, and I have these here. I'm gonna share some with my in-laws, and I will try this recipe again. I mean, it's a lot of work. I get it. It's a lot of process, but I think it took me longer because I kind of had a little hiccups here and there, but and I didn't know what it was supposed to look like. But I like to try. Doesn't matter if I've never made it or not. I like to try, and I ask all of you, do the same. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated about something you've never done. So I'm gonna put these back in the oven at the lowest temperature just to kind of dry them out a little bit, because I think some of them need to, I noticed that they're more chewy, and I remember they're crunchy. So when I have my last pan, I turn it to low and I put all of them in the oven so they can dry out a little bit. So try this, and I will have the correction of the recipe without the hiccups that I had. So I'll try to make it the right way. So anyway, until next time, have a good day.